Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And it's a new week, and today's topic is context and how the context that we frame questions, that we perceive ourselves, that we perceive issues, the context creates the possibility or the limit to possibility. And so we get to look today at how to create contexts that are expansive and life affirming. Good morning, Rosalind. How wonderful to start the week with you and with everybody else who's joining us. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you here. So today's topic is context. And before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present, and let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, energizing all your cells, all your molecules, all your electrons, and creating this brilliant beam of light from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale, exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's just press our palms together and vigorously rub your hands together and feel the tension, the temperature, the texture, the friction, and allow yourselves to become present to all those sensations and present to this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Good morning, Gia. So wonderful to have you here with us this morning. We're talking about context and how the context within which we interpret our experience and pretty much everything dictates what's possible. So we've talked about the problem with problem solving. It's sort of the same thing. Good morning, Isabel. It's been a while. So wonderful to have you here with us. Welcome. We're talking about context and how the context that we perceive things kind of dictates the possibility of what our outcomes might be. So I've been reading this wonderful book by Carol Sanford called, thank you, Gia. Gia says, I love this topic too. In fact, I love every topic you choose. You're very complimentary, Gia. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. So I am reading this wonderful book by Carol Sanford, who is a thought leader in rethinking the paradigms within which we exist in order to be able to create a future that is thriving, and where we might have a possibility to correct some of the trajectories that we're on in terms of our relationship with nature, etc. Anyway, the book is called Indirect Work, and she talks about a basketball coach named Phil Jackson, who brought the Bulls. I'm not a sports person, so I'm just trying to recall this from the book, but to be a remarkably winning team. And how that occurred was by creating a whole new context for the game and for themselves as players. So Gia says, I think everything we experience is all to context in which we understand and interpret every single thing. 100% Gia. Exactly. And so we get to look at that. So what Carol was talking about in the book is how this coach transformed the team from a bunch of individual players to a collective unit. He taught them how to, first of all, created a context that they worked together, and also gave them a sense of higher purpose in recognizing the impact that their game, that basketball, had on the fans and the culture, and created this very grand context that was completely interrelated. So each of the players was taught to manage their emotional states. And then as a team, they were taught to perceive themselves as a part of this team, like that the team was an entity in and of itself, that they were, when they were playing, he would have them breathe together, literally have them breathe together, for them to recognize themselves as part of an organism. So to be thinking beyond the limitation of self and maybe their star power as players, but to be in the team, where their individual interests were aligned with, or maybe even second to, or submerged in the interest of the whole, the unit. And then that unit was created or placed in a greater context of purpose and meaning of a larger culture. So really, really fascinating approach, which is very much in line with what we talk about here quite a lot, which is that we are part of life unfolding, right? And that when we connect to being part of a greater whole, then like when we recognize that we can make a difference, that we have a voice, that we are part of this bigger thing that's happening, and that we all play a role within that context, then there's a sense of empowerment, and it's a very, very different experience than seeing myself as an isolated element, and with no influence, no possibility, no connection. We've recognized so often how the issues that we're confronting as humanity come. Let me see. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. My internet connection is really fragile connected to my computer, and every time I jiggle something, it goes out. So hopefully we're back. If you're able to see this message, or this broadcast, please just chime in so I know that we're good. I'm just going to try and restart Restream. Hopefully that'll bring us back. So I'm hoping you guys can still see this. Anyway, technical challenges. So we're talking about context and how all of that works. It looks like this isn't streaming now. Let me see. I'm going to start and stop and start over, I think.